Yes, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Chopping It Up with Charms. I'm back again on this lovely Friday to just run through everything that's been going on in the football cosmos, bring it right back to you. And with it being early January, you know what time it is. It's transfer season o'clock, and we love it here in the transfer season. I'm not only going to be going over transfers because there's a couple to talk about, Liverpool, Chelsea, Real Madrid, the works, but on top of that, I'm going to be talking about the title race because it's got interesting since the last time I was here. Things have changed. Chelsea have had a torrid December. Arsenal been dropping points and Liverpool look as good as ever. But we'll cross the bridge when we get to it. But the first topic of today is transfers. What good would it be if we were starting off this chopping it up with Charms in January without going into transfers? And the main one on everyone's lips is Trent Alexander-Arnold. Rumour being he's planning on, if not already signed a pre-agreement with Real Madrid to be making that move permanent. And I don't blame him. A lot of Liverpool fans are kind of in arms about it. A lot of split opinions. It seems to be straight down the middle. A lot of Liverpool fans that I've personally spoken to are very irritated with his leave, whereas a handful of them, as far as I'm concerned, are happy for him to be making this move. I'm on the latter. I think it's good for him to have made this move, and I know that I don't have necessarily the Liverpool loyalties, and I don't see it like that, but I've been wanting Reece James to move, and I know it's relatively incomparable, but it's relatively comparable, I think 2 years ago, if you wanted to get rid of Reece James, it would have been a little bit difficult because he was fit and he was active, and if he had still been fit and active now, it would be hard to see him go, but with the restructure and everything, I would understand maybe cashing in on a fullback at that £70-80 million price tag. The rumour being the £70 million price tag. But now, with the pre-agreement signed, they're just going to wait for his contract to expire with Trent Alexander-Arnold. So I understand that they feel a little bit hard done by with how the contract's been, but it's not like this is exactly the first year we've been hearing about this rumour. It's 2 or 3 seasons in now to hearing about Trent, potentially going to Real Madrid. So they should have seen this coming. They should have tried a contract extension. They should have done everything in their power to make sure that the finances were going to follow suit with losing one of their most important players. I would say Trent, Salah, Van Dijk, that's your holy trinity right now at Liverpool, and that is what's making them win the league with such confidence and such ease, the way that they've been doing it. This is the big, if they get rid and he signs a pre-agreement, I would be interested to see what they do with him the rest of the season, whether they play him to his full capacity is probably what I imagine they do, but there's times when these players are frozen out, they don't show the interest needed for when other players will do that. I don't necessarily know who it will be that fills in at right back because I don't think Quansah is relatively good enough, and as far as I'm concerned, he's a left back if I'm not wrong. So it's going to be difficult to make that switch. Whether this is the January that they buy someone in at right back to try and get a 6-month holding period, that is probably what I say is the smartest thing to do. If you know that a player is gone and they're signing a pre-agreement and they're joining another club, you need the replacement ready at the gun. You need it there. And when it's there, it's there. But until then, I don't know about worried for Liverpool, but I can imagine this would create a drop-off in sort of form and points to some degree. They've looked absolutely untouchable in the back end of 2024. So to see a hole, with Trent Alexander potentially leaving, I would like to see it as a bit of a chink in the armour. I would like to see it as a sort of a way that you can find a hole in that side and a way to exploit the attack. Once again, I can't imagine, should he sign the agreement, that he's going to put 100% of his time and effort into Liverpool. And listen, he might. We've seen it before. Boyhood, he's been there since he was 6 years old. There's a lot of love and a lot of loyalty. They've given him everything he's had. But he's giving it back. He's won everything there is to win at the club. So I think it's time for him to go on his new venture. And a different point about the same topic. Where the Liverpool fans are split, I don't understand it because I think it's fair enough for him to leave. I mean, he's been there since the beginning of his career. He's won everything there is to win. And I think, Liverpool fans would be wrong to deny someone from that Spanish weather, from the ability to play in the Spanish top flight and contend for Champions Leagues for another time in his career when Liverpool, obviously, they find it quite difficult to do. I also think that it'd be fair for letting him play in a side that recognises his quality. I mean, you look at the side they have, Bellingham and Mbappe in the works, Vinicius and Rodrigo, or Rodrigo as I like to call him. That's a team that I think he deserves to play in for 5, 6 years. He's a fantastic right back, although at times I think he can be quite overrated. I think that a team like Real Madrid is a winning side. It's a team that fits the winning mentality, and I think that is what he brings to the table. And I think that it's a good move for both the player, and if there's money involved, the club. But definitely for Real Madrid. I mean, they've got a history of doing this. They did it with Mbappe at PSG, made him sign a contract, pre-agreement, comes in on a free, best player in the world, arguably, going forward. So they've got the ability to do it. The business that Real Madrid are able to get across the line is fantastic. And we've seen them get it across the line multiple times. I think he deserves to go in there and potentially even fill out a 6 instead of Valverde, should he have the confidence and the ability to do so. I think he's a wonderful player on his day. And when Reece James didn't exist, he'd have been the best right back of this generation for England. So it's interesting, isn't it? But yeah, man, I think that it will happen. And I think it will happen in the summer. And I think the agreement will be signed soon. So my recommendation to Liverpool is obviously the deep football scholar that I am. I would recommend they start looking in at right backs as part of this January window, in the know that they're going to have to replace them in summer, and they could get an extra 6 months with a player in the club who can spend that time not playing, but learning the inside and outs of the tactics and the club and how everything works. And I think that would work wonders. Now, talking about the transfer window, Chelsea, we need to pattern something up in that defence. And I said it with Dan the other day. The two names that he listed off for me were Araujo and Bastoni. The one that I was thinking of was Araujo. But listen, Bastoni works for me. But I want experience. I want another Thiago Silva. And I think that we have to look around at centre-backs who have been in and around the upper level. And obviously, I would have liked it to have been Sergio Ramos and Varane, because I think that they played at the level high enough. They're just at the back end of their career and they've got a lot more to give. But for various reasons, both of them are unavailable. Retirement, pretty much, for the pair of them, if I'm being totally honest. Whether they're still playing in some bogus league or they're actually retired, because I can't actually tell anymore with Sergio Ramos. He's too busy at UFC events rather than actually playing football when he looks in fantastic shape. So, I don't know. He's probably signed to a club, to be fair. Should have done my homework before I jumped on it, shouldn't I? But yeah, man, I just think that it's going to be an older, experienced centre-back that we need to prioritise on in the transfer window. And I think because of that, if we were to make one of those cross the line, I think that it would say a lot. Even if it was, and it's never going to happen, but a player like a Harry Maguire who fits that same quota, I'm not mad at it. Just we need an experienced player to kind of lead that line and teach these kids how to hold it down and how to keep their emotions in check. I'm done with Disasi. Badiashile, he's steady gone back on the rise, but I'm still done with him as well. But Axel, I'm done with personally. I just want to see Fofana and Colwill both fully fit and playing in centre-backs as a double with some experience to guide that line. Perfectly segueing onto my next topic, is the title race done for Chelsea and is it wrapped for Liverpool? And I don't know, because I would say yes. I would say that they're firmly, not only the favourites at this point, they're dead on to win it. And it's just going to be Arsenal that really have any chance, with the only outlier really being Nottingham Forest. I can't put Chelsea in there because December killed it. We had 9 points to get across 9 games. We got 1. We got a draw against Everton, a loss against Fulham, and a loss against Ipswich. The latter of those, the loss against Ipswich, is absolutely unacceptable. Listen, the performance at Fulham, it is what it is. You go a goal up, you go 2 goals up, it gets chalked off, you end up losing the game 2-1. Tolson forgets who he plays for. I understand it. But the Ipswich one, there's no exception. I mean, we give away a stupid penalty. Whether you believe it's a penalty or not, we should be able to go a goal down at Ipswich and come out there 3-1, 4-1. We should be able to go and score as many goals as we feel in free flow. And we're not able to do that. And whether that's Cole Palmer being a little bit of a patch right now that I'm not a fan of, or whether that is Nicholas Jackson got the shooting boots off, or if that's just a leaky defence. But, 0-0 doesn't say anything. With the world's strongest defence, Ipswich is still taking a point out of that game. So I'm in a little bit of mixed minds about what we do. All I know that in the end of the day is we need a new centre-back, and that is going to cross us over this line. That's going to keep us sort of in and around the top 4. When it comes to outliers, I personally feel like the only team that can actually do it is Arsenal, but they would need to go perfect from now on. They need to win every game, and they need to hold Liverpool get an injury, because the way Liverpool playing don't look like they're going to drop points. Liverpool look like they're about to make a famous run. Famous charge. Mo Salah is supposed to be his last season. There's rumours of contract extension. Virgil van Dijk's supposed to be on the out. Rumours of contract extension. I'm worried about it as a Chelsea fan. I would be worried about it as a neutral, but as a Liverpool fan, I would be very, very happy about the situation. I mean, you listen, Arsenal probably been the best team over the year, but it's not January to December, is it? So that they had Man City for the first half, they've got Liverpool for the second half. They've just been the best of the rest. And that doesn't get you anywhere in English football. You know, you've got to be on your A game 24/7. You can't afford to drop points early because you know you're going to end up playing catch up at the end. But yeah, man, a big week. It's been a couple of weeks since I've been here, so it's nice to be back. And you will know that I will be back next week. Don't forget to like and subscribe. These have been all my takes for the week. If there's anything else I think of, I'll rattle it off. Nah, transfer window's looking shit, to be honest. I'll be totally frank. None of the transfers are any interest in. I want to see Trent go and create a lot of drama because I want someone to sit over here and talk about. It'd be nice and fun, wouldn't it? But unfortunately, I get left with these stupid knuckle-dragging Spurs fans telling me they're going to sign fucking Victor Gyökeres. Shut up. United want Gyökeres. Shut up. He ain't coming to you. Ruben Amorim, 22 points. Crazy. Love. Don't forget to like, subscribe, charms. I'm out.